Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ozioma, and here I talk about my life from the standpoint of faith, career, relationships, and everything else in between. In today's video, I'm going to be talking very briefly about fasting, specifically the Daniel fast, and I'll be showing you what I eat in a day, or an example of what I eat in a day and how I distribute or how I eat in a day when I'm on the Daniel fast here. So before I get into that, I'd like to also share some tips on how you can stay get the best out of your fast. So I know that it's the start of the year and a lot of churches are right now doing, long-term fasting, 50 days, 70 days. Okay, no, I don't think they've started 70 days, but like so many people are fasting right now, and it is very, very easy for you to get lost as an individual in the crowd, or to just get lost in the fact that, oh, my church is fasting, so let me go along and not get the best out of it here. And I've already said, and if you haven't got my book on the Daniel fast, I have got a free guide to help you know what to eat as a Nigerian or with someone with an African palate. But yeah, if you read that book, you realize that it's very, very easy to think that fasting is, an institutional thing that we do for God. But if you read that book, you understand that fasting is more for us than it is for God. So I'm not going to talk much about that. You go read the book here. It's free, so you can download it. The link will be in my description box. Yeah, so first thing is have an expectation. And the truth of the matter is, like the Bible says, the expectation of the righteous shall not be cut short. But guess what? When your expectation is zero, there's no need to even cut anything short. It's already short. So you have to start with an expectation, yeah, and have a plan. So my church does 50 days fasting at the start of the year, and it's like 50 days. Oh my God, it's so huge. Where do I even start from? And what I do mentally, and actually like in my journal, is to break it down. So I have 10-day blocks, and then, like in the first 10 days, I really want to thank God. In the second 10 days, this is me giving examples now. It's not really like what's in my journal, but maybe in the second day, 10 days, I want to shed weight, or when I mean shed weight, I mean physical weight. I want to shed weight and lose things that Bible calls them sins that so easily beset. Maybe so you're very, maybe you a sin that really easily besets you. Maybe you gossip a lot and you're like, in this next 10 days, I just really want to focus on God getting that out of my mind or out of my life. So you are fasting not just off food, but you're also fasting off frivolities and talk, idle talk. And then I can do the third block and say I want to align with God. In the fourth block, I want to bring my request to God, or in the fifth block I want to pray for Nigeria. So that really helps me. We have like prayer guides as well from church, but this really helps me to stay focused. The second thing I would say, okay, so I already spoke about have an expectation, have a plan. The third thing is let your focus be on Jesus. Like I know with the Daniel fast, it's very easy to get very creative and innovative. Listen, if you'll see in the few minutes or few seconds time when I start showing you what I eat and what my process is like, I just like make my food at the start of the week. Honestly, I chop everything, do everything I want to do at the start of the week, and all I do is go heat up my food, eat, go serve up my food, eat. And that's because you don't want to spend all the time you're supposed to be using to seek God to, eat food. And then the fourth thing I would say, and second to last thing, is having how that the point of fasting literally is to reduce your flesh so that your spirit is exalted, yeah, or reduce the noise of your flesh so that you can hear the voice of your spirit loudly. And so in that case, when you are getting rid of something, the mind doesn't exist in a vacuum. You have to put something in it. So if you're taking out like food and you say, okay, oh, not just food, yeah, anything that you're fasting off, you are like, I'm taking this now, you have to put something in it. So if you're fasting off food and you're saying, okay, maybe instead of eating 5 times a day, maybe I used to eat 5 times a day, I want to be eating 3 times a day now, maybe from 6 p.m. I want to be breaking with 6. Then what am I going to be filling the other time with? My food time, I would now make it like, maybe a study time or a sermon time or a prayer time, yeah? And lastly, which is the last point I would share on how you can get the most of your fast, is to ensure that you're not just fasting off of food. Some of us, our problem is never really food. Some people, by 5 o'clock, they've never eaten and they're not thinking about food, which is unhealthy, by the way, if you are that person. But food is not really the problem. The problem is something else. Maybe social media for so many people, it's become an idol, or maybe for so many people, one time in my life, okay, I did makeup today, so maybe it's not a really nice day to do an example, but there's a time in my life when I was living and working in Lagos where I couldn't leave my house without having like makeup done, which had already become an idol because I used to leave very early, and the time which I was supposed to use for my quiet time, I was not using it to do makeup. Okay, so I had to fast off makeup for a period of time, and I realized, I actually think I like my face bare. And so all I'm trying to say is fasting can be very overwhelming if it's like long term, like 50 days, 70 days, 100 days, but don't despair. Keep your eyes on Jesus, have a plan, have an expectation, replace food times or whatever things you're trying to fast off with healthy things and with like God things. And fifth, I forgot the fifth point, I'll leave it down here in text. So yes, very quickly, let me dive into how my day looks like when I'm on Daniel fast. First thing in the morning, I typically, well, not morning, depends on when my first meal is. Yeah, I typically start with fruits. Yeah, so I have like fruits. I get fruits from the store. By the way, who else struggles to buy like beans? Like struggles to know what beans to buy in the store? If you're not like living in Nigeria, because like when I was growing up, there were just two beanses, Oloyin or Olotu. So when my mom is sending me on errands, it's like Oloyin, and my biggest problem was trying to remember which Olo. My mom was asking me to buy it. I'm like, is it Oloyin or Olotu? And I'll get there and I'm like, Jesus, I forgot it. And it's now a gamble. Sometimes I got into trouble. But now here it's like so many options of beans and I don't even know which one to get. But anyways, so what I do is I typically like shop in bulk so that I don't have to run and go and buy carrots, run and go and buy this thing. Maybe at the start of the weekend. It probably would last me for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then I chop up my fruits at the start of the week. I chop up, if I'm having carrots, I chop them off, peel it, clean it, put it in a dry bowl and store it in the fridge, or pawpaw, papaya, whatever, watermelon, and I store it away. And that's usually my first meal of the day, a bowl of fruit. So it's like different options. Sometimes I have banana, just so many things. By the time I've eaten it, I'm full. And also to help me stay very full for most of the morning, I also eat fatty fruits, things like avocado. Because again, when I'm fasting, I really don't like losing weight. The way I am, I'm really thankful for the way that I am. So, when you do Daniel fast, it's very likely that you lose weight. So what I try to do is to minimize that effect by having like fatty fruits like avocado. So that's typically what I have in the mornings. Another option of what I have in the mornings is oats, with like almond milk or oat milk, or with no milk actually. And then in the afternoon, I typically make this sauce. I'm going to show you guys how I make the sauce in this video clip, but I typically make this sauce at the start of the week as well, and I use it with a lot of things. I can eat it with plantain, I can eat it with potatoes, I can eat it with bulgur, I can eat it with brown rice. So now you see, like, it's not like the options are there yet. It's just it takes a little bit of advanced planning. So I eat it with bulgur, I eat it with and stuff. And because there is no seasoning, there is no interest, all these things. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, if you want to know about the basics of the Daniel fast, please, I already have a video on that, a little bit comprehensive video, and I have my free guide, which is going to be in the description box, so please feel free to get it. So I was saying about how, like, because of the seasoning, I sometimes just flavor my food with natural spices. So sometimes I have cut parsley in it, sometimes I have garlic. I cook my bulgur with garlic or with onion or with pepper to just give me some so it's not just bland in my mouth and I'm just here. And then most times in the evening, because I'm already like pretty, and when I'm on the Daniel fast, I realize that I actually don't, human beings don't, like, we don't need too much food. Do you understand? Like, we just don't need too much food. But yeah, that's another discourse. And then in the evenings, I typically will have plantain that I roast it as boli, or I have potatoes, and then I can have like a sauce. So sometimes I use the sauce from earlier in the day, but sometimes I also use the I make like guacamole, which is literally just pounded or shredded or blended avocado and some other herbs and spices and all of that, and that's it literally. And sometimes I mix it. Another thing that I eat, which I am not showing here, is beans as well. So sometimes in the afternoon I have beans, or I have it as side by side with my bulgur or with my rice or anything like that. Anyways, that's pretty much some ideas that can help you on your journey. And remember, the goal is to seek God, or if you're fasting for spiritual reasons, there are other reasons why people fast, and those are valid as well. But if you're fasting to seek God, you have to keep that at the back of your mind. That's the goal. I'm not just fasting because I want to fulfill the righteousness or make myself feel good. Oh, for Lent this year I did the complete 40 days. That's carnality. Yes, that's carnality. What you should be focused on is to seek God and to get the best. So if you're doing that, you're actively, intentionally listening to sermons, you're intentionally praying, you're intentionally releasing the people that you've held back in your heart, you're intentionally making peace, you're intentionally forgiving, you're intentionally just seeking God, getting closer to God, so that it's not just my flesh is down and my spirit is also down. My flesh might be down, but I'm trying to exalt my spirit. So that's it on this video. I hope I haven't spoken for so long. Oh my goodness, yes, just in time. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please help me push this channel. I'm trying to get more serious with it, even though I've been away for a few months. But please like and definitely subscribe. God bless you, and I hope you have the best God gives you the best experience with your fast. God bless you. Bye. Cheers.